Welcome to Colerain Middle School's National Junior Honor Society Introduction Ceremony. Thank you for your attendance this evening. We will begin tonight's ceremony with the saying of our Pledge of Allegiance. Would you all please stand and join me? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Moore will now introduce tonight's program.
All right, good evening, everyone. Could we give a bit of a louder round of applause for our National Junior Honor Society inductees? All right, good evening. My name is Mr. Ali Moore. I have the pleasure of being the principal here at Colerain Middle School and for these wonderful Cardinals. On behalf of the administration and the faculty here at Colerain Middle School, I want to welcome all of you to the 2022 Colerain Middle School National Junior Honor Society induction. Before we get started, I'd like to thank our Honor Society advisory, Mrs. Gray. A special thanks goes out also to all the parents who are in attendance this evening, as well as those that are watching us from home because we are streaming this live. This evening we have students who are being inducted into the National Junior Honor Society. And admission is an extraordinary accomplishment and is a recognition of the years of hard work the students in this room have put in. These students have balanced academics, sports, as well as other outside interests. Not to mention, you continue to maintain high marks of achievement while we worked our way through this pandemic. And for that, I applaud you again for that. All right, so here's the big question. What does it mean to be a member of an honor society? We know at minimum that means that you maintain exemplary grade marks and an average that's required for admission. And while we as a society always place an emphasis on high marks in academics, we also know that the world is filled with many smart people who don't always demonstrate the morals and ethics that are at the very core of what it means to be a member of the Honor Society. As Honor Society members, I want you to know that you are the leaders of your class and you represent the very best of our school. The challenge that I present to you is not one that you will necessarily face today, but rather at many different points in your life. There is nothing more important and honorable than hard work. I think that your parents and teachers have shared that with you on numerous occasions. I think that as you encounter different people and situations, you will face many points in your life where you have to determine to do something the right way or do it the wrong way. That moment is sometimes subtle and it can be overlooked. But the choices that you make in those key moments can be the difference in your lives. As you travel down your own life path, my hope is that you will believe in the things that your parents have taught you, the ethics, the values, and the characters that you have developed. We all know that you have the necessary foundation, and that's evidenced by the support you have in this gym. And that's the reason you are being admitted into the National Junior Honor Society. And now I will turn the ceremony over to Kalia as we light the white candle.
The ideals of the National Junior Honor Society are scholarship, citizenship, leadership, service, and character. These 5 ideals are symbolized in the candles you now see before you. I began by lighting the white candle of knowledge, which then gives its flame to others, and the light increases. With the birth of this light, one mind illuminates another, one person strengthens another, and its flame enlarges as you pass it on.
Scholarship is represented by the gold candle. Scholarship means a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. Knowledge is one great element in life which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past and the light which illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
Citizenship is represented by the blue candle. Citizenship is vital to the strength of the country. It requires effort and commitment. Without it, there would be a lack of democracy. In the words of the late President John F. Kennedy, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Citizenship is the willingness of each person to participate responsibly in the affairs that govern America.
Leadership is represented by the purple candle. Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking the initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interest for the interest of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a country, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a significant charge to each of our members.
Service is represented by the red candle. Service can be described in various ways. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or without recognition is the quality we seek in our membership. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow.
Character is represented by the green candle. Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others. It gives each one individuality. It is that without which no one can respect oneself nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is the force of character which guides one through life and, when once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action, daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be, in reality, what we wish to appear to others. By demonstrating such qualities as reliability, honesty, and sincerity, we may hope to prove by example that we value character.
Thank you so much to all of our speakers. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mrs. Gray, for those of you who don't know me, and at this time in our ceremony, we would like to present the National Junior Honor Society candidates with their certificates and pins. I will begin with Rebecca Baldwin. Rebecca's teachers describe her as creative, witty, and independent. Mrs. Cooper states that Rebecca thinks quickly on her feet and has a creative mind. Becca also has a fun-loving personality and can turn the most mundane tasks and routine moments into something fun. Mrs. McGee notes that she has a passion for animals, which she greatly admires. Next is Seth Bogan. Seth's teachers describe him as kind, diligent, and poised. Ms. Anderson says that Seth is a genuine, well-rounded person that people gravitate towards. His optimism and positive energy radiates. Being a student athlete, Seth has self-discipline to balance his time and effort to ensure his high performance in both academic and athletic endeavors. Ms. Ann Benedict notes that Seth is always a student you can count on, whether this is him as a friend, student, or classmate. And Ms. Lynn notes that Seth is diligent, kind, and cool. Next is Olivia Byrne. Olivia's teachers describe her as responsible, kind, and hardworking. Mrs. Schwederman states that number 4 was always a very honest 6th grader. She worked very hard, but she'd be the first person to tell her when she'd made a mistake in the most humorous and kind way. Ms. Schmitz notes that Olivia was like having a second teacher in the room. In the 6th grade, she did an amazing job helping some of her classmates make the transition from elementary to middle school. She was fiercely independent in the classroom and was always going that extra mile on her work. Next is Liam Cheney. Liam's teachers describe him as clever, bright, and driven. Ms. Ashley Benedict describes Liam as clever and bright, and he is a very bright student. His problem-solving skills are impeccable, and he can take on any mathematical challenge. Liam is also a very clever person with quick-witted jokes that keeps their class laughing. Mrs. McGee notes that Liam is a great student and a great human being. Liam loves what he loves with no apologies, especially Lord of the Rings. He has a sharp wit, a warm smile, and a kind soul. Ms. Lynn notes that he is creative and knowledgeable. Next is Salamata Diallo. Salamata is dedicated, patient, and graceful. Mrs. Cooper says that Salamata is always pushing herself to achieve her goals. She is determined and does not waver from her intentions. Salamata has high standards for herself, and she is dedicated to accomplish anything she sets out to do. Mrs. Grimm notes that Salamata has a quiet grace about her. She is always pushing herself to learn and achieve new things. Mrs. Gray notes that she is serious yet silly sometimes, which is hard to balance, but she does it well. Elena Gaynor. Elena's teachers describe her as poised, organized, and hardworking. Mrs. Darling notes that Elena always puts forth the best effort towards her assignments. She was also a caring classmate and friend. Mrs. Case says that Lainey is ready to take on any challenge. She is active in so many extracurricular activities, yet manages to master them all extremely well. And Mrs. McGee says that Lainey is a great student and a great human being. She has strong convictions that guide her every decision, and she works hard to do her very best in her many endeavors inside and outside of the classroom. Next is Ashley Heibel. Ashley's teachers describe her as intelligent, sweet, and confident. Ms. Anderson says that Ashley is a kind-hearted, thoughtful individual. She has a quiet confidence about her in the academic setting. She is a high-achieving student in all academic areas and puts forth much effort to ensure that her performance is top of the line. Mrs. Darling notes that Ashley's creative talents always amazed her. She still has work samples from her that she shows her current students. She was a conscientious worker that paid attention to every detail. And Mrs. Powers says that Ashley was one of the sweetest second grade students that she has ever had. She came to school each day with a smile on her face and a sparkle in her eyes. Ashley was kind and empathetic towards her classmates, and she was always eager to help. Next is Casey Hunt. Casey's teachers describe her as polite, sophisticated, and bright. Mrs. Cooper says that Casey is always optimistic and chooses to see the best in others. She is incredibly polite and mature in her interactions with teachers and peers. Casey never fails to brighten my day with her kindness. She has a creative mind and a gift with words. And Mrs. Grimm notes that Casey is not only incredibly talented at drawing, she has very original ideas, pushes the envelope, and has an awesome sense of humor, which has come out in her artwork. She is one of the friendliest, most inclusive students she knows, and she has an optimistic outlook on every situation. Next is Haley Johnson. Haley's teachers describe her as kind, talented, and hardworking. Miss Ashley Benedict says Haley is one of the sweetest souls she has had the pleasure to know. Haley is very bright and diligent in all of her schoolwork. She is hardworking and can tackle any academic challenge. Miss Schwederman described Haley as conscientious. She worked nonstop until she figured out the answer. She paid close attention to every detail. And Mrs. Gray describes Haley as incredibly kind, and I will never forget the time that Haley and her mom helped me push my car when it ran out of gas on Pool Road. Thank you so much for that, Haley and Ms. Johnson. Next is Kalia Johnson. Kalia's teachers describe her as hardworking, humble, and mature. Ms. Ashley Benedict states that Kalia is an extremely intelligent and diligent student. She is new to CMS this year, but you would never know that from her involvement in academics, extracurricular activities, and relationships with her peers and teachers. Kalia has an amazing confidence within her, which shines inside and outside of the classroom. Her quick wit never fails to make those around her laugh. Ms. Bird describes Kalia as a leader in the classroom and excellent at showing humility, helping others, and showing patience. And Mr. Albrink notes that Kalia is self-assured, insightful, and mature. Addison Kress. Addison's teachers describe her as hardworking, insightful, and conscientious. Mrs. Cooper states that Addie has high standards for herself. She is hardworking and does not settle for anything less than her absolute best. She is conscientious about her assignments. Addie does not hesitate to ask for clarification to ensure she knows exactly what it takes to achieve excellence. And Ms. Schwederman notes that Addie did all the extra credit possible to guarantee a good grade, even though she didn't need the extra credit. Next is Kendallin Press. Kendy's teachers describe her as focused, responsible, and kind. Mrs. Cooper describes Kendallin says she is a resourceful student. In the event that something does not go according to plan, she has a backup plan and ideas on how to effectively execute whatever she needs to be successful. Mrs. Hudson states that she greatly enjoyed having Kendallin in her 5th grade class. She put 100% into all of her academic work and never backs away from a challenge. She always has a smile on her face and brightened the day for Miss Hudson and her classmates. She loves seeing your artwork and talent and talking about your art lessons. And Mrs. Grimm states that you are quiet, focused, and responsible. Olivia Kress. Olivia's teachers describe her as independent, persistent, and talented. Mrs. Cooper states that Livia is perfectly content working independently and thrives on her own. Livia is persistent in her dedication to her academics, and she is destined for greatness. Ms. Ashley Benedict says that Livy is a very bright and hardworking student. She can trust Livy will problem solve through any challenge given to her with ease. Livy is very considerate and courteous to her peers and teachers. And Ms. Schwieterman notes that she worked very hard to make sure she had high grades. Olivia Lighthall. Olivia's teachers describe her as bright, thoughtful, and exuberant. Mrs. McGee states that Olivia exudes a calm confidence. She doesn't seek the spotlight, but when it's on her, she shines. And if there's a competition involved, watch out. She aims to win. My favorite thing about Olivia is the smile. She lights up from within. Mrs. Schwieterman notes that even after being in her class in the 6th grade, Liv still emails her and thinks of her on her birthday and throughout the school year. She always worked very hard and treated every student with the utmost respect. She was and still is a role model student. And Mrs. Darling notes that Liv was a hardworking student who always did the right thing. Next is Reagan Lloyd. Reagan's teachers describe her as motivated, kind, and persistent. Mrs. Gray states that Reagan may be quiet, but always has kind words to say to classmates or teachers. She is bright and always willing to try hard and learn something new. Mrs. Gangloff says that Reagan isn't afraid to advocate for herself and go after what she knows she can accomplish. And Mrs. Cooper and Ms. Schwieterman described Reagan as quick-witted. She always has a witty comeback to the lame jokes that they tell in class. Elise Manus. Elise's teachers describe her as positive, intelligent, and easygoing. Mrs. McGee states that Elise is rare. She is one of the rarest students who has it all. A great work ethic, a quick wit, a willing hand, and a kind heart. She's smart and fun and spunky, and she is always willing to go the extra mile for the assignment or a friend or a cause to which she is committed, a quality human being. Ms. Darling states that Elise was so bubbly. Her positive attitude in class was refreshing. She always came up with creative ideas and projects. She was always amazed at your organization and willingness to go above and beyond. And Ms. Schwieterman shares a story. Elise and a few of her friends in class were determined to get another friend to sit at their table. They worked hard to convince her. Elise eventually won her over by writing and performing a song, convincing her to move the friend to their table. Madison Meyer. Madison's teachers describe her as fearless, dedicated, and delightful. Ms. Anderson states that Maddie is a well-rounded person. She is intelligent in various academic areas and has a genuine love of learning. She is quick to ask questions and not satisfied until she has a holistic understanding of the content being taught. Maddie is easy to talk to and has a caring personality. People seem to gravitate towards Maddie because of her fearless, driven, and positive energy that she has. Mrs. K states that Maddie joined orchestra later than most, yet has become one of their best musicians. She is extremely hardworking and shows her dedication throughout her effort and preparation. And Mrs. McGee notes that Maddie loves the planet and the animals and people who inhabit it. She wants to make the world a better place. She does her part by taking care of her friends, educating us on important issues, and setting an example of the kind person and student we all should be. Next is William Rotz. Will's teachers describe him as intelligent, responsible, and kind. Mrs. Darling states that Will's wit and humor definitely kept her on her toes. I enjoyed bantering with him on a daily basis. He had such a great sense of humor, but he also balanced it with a strong work ethic and awareness of when to be serious. This is a great combination. Mrs. McGee states that Will is a superstar, an outstanding student, a creative writer, a quality human being. Will elevates the conversation just by being a part of it. He is limitless in his abilities, and he's an all-around great person, caring, committed, capable, kind. All the good words, that's Will. Next is Carter Sierra. Carter's teachers describe him as hardworking, precise, and conscientious. Mrs. Ashley Benedict describes Carter as a very hardworking individual. Carter is always very precise and diligent with his schoolwork. Carter asks all the right questions and gives his best effort into everything he puts his mind to. Ms. Bird notes that Carter is always easygoing in class and tries his best. And Mr. Albring says that Carter is focused, diligent, confident, and conscientious. Lastly is Jackson Surdick. Jackson's teachers describe him as kind, responsible, and fun. Mr. Dahlheimer states that Jackson is a very thoughtful individual who always puts others first. He is quick to assist his peers in any way possible. In addition, he has an excellent work ethic that allows him to be very successful in both in and out of the classroom. And Mrs. Schwederman and Ms. Poe state that Jackson is a student that they know they can count on to do the right thing. He is often staying after class to help clean and helping other students to make good decisions. He also has a great sense of humor and always keeps the class laughing. He is a joy to have in class. Let's give one more round of applause to all of our National Junior Honor Society candidates. At this time, Olivia Kress will lead the students in the National Junior Honor Society Pledge.
On our pins is a torch, which is the emblem of the National Junior Honor Society. As wise ones long ago lit a torch to guide them through the dark, so all who seek the truth must light the torch of knowledge. This emblem should inspire us to accept the challenge of character, scholarship, leadership, and service. We stand now to say the pledge of the National Junior Honor Society. I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of the National Junior Honor Society, to which I have been selected, striving in every way, by words and deeds, to make its ideals the ideals of my school and of my life.
Could we have one more round of applause for these wonderful students? And before I get into closing remarks, students, again, I look into the gym and I know that you have family and friends that are watching online. If you can, please give a round of applause for your support system that's here for you tonight. So you wouldn't know this, but when Mrs. Gray first had our meeting in the cafeteria and started talking about the ceremony and what was going on and that there was going to be public speaking, you'd be surprised how many of them were like, no, I can't do it, no, I'm nervous, or no, I'm scared. And all of our speakers and our students did a wonderful job tonight. And I think that just goes to show, yeah. I think it goes to show as well when faced with a challenge, they're going to step up and do an amazing job. All right. So in closing, students, always remember that induction to the Honor Society is a beginning, not the end. You are well on your way to making wonderful contributions in high school and, more importantly, our world. Congratulations to all of you once again, and please continue to make your school proud, your teachers proud, your parents proud, and most importantly, yourself. Thank you. So at this time, the ceremony is concluded. We do have water and refreshments. Feel free to, hang out, take pictures. But thank you again. I definitely appreciate you coming out and joining us this evening.